Genesis chapter 46 introduction. So what's happening in this chapter? At the end of the previous chapter, we've seen Jacob receiving the news that Joseph is alive, so they packed everything up and they're going to go to Egypt. Joseph instructed them as well what to say when they get to Egypt, what kind of job they do, for which reason, because the job, taking care of the livestock, that is something that the Egyptians, they stand far off, they despise it, so therefore they will get the land of Goshen. That is a reason that is given. In this chapter as well, we have a naming, or there's the family tree of Jacob, his sons, their children. Here and there a girl thrown in for, like Dinah for example, but one other as well for good measure. Okay, the whole Dinah story we've already read. Tamar's sons and and Onan mentioned, and how they died before. This is mentioned again in this chapter. We've seen that as well. It points back to chapter 38. And as well, one other very important thing that happens in this chapter is the fact that Jacob gets, God speaks to Jacob and he brings an offering, and as well a reminding that he needs to go down to Israel. Okay, so this would have been a very strange thing for Jacob. Well, in this case, I mean, he wants to go because his son is there. But the whole idea of leaving the land of Canaan, when he was working for Laban, God telling him go back to the land of Canaan, always they were told to go back to the land of Canaan, that is the promised land. And now in this case he said, you go to Egypt, because there I'll take care of you, and there you'll grow into a big nation. So yes, otherwise God is always going to tell, never go back to Egypt, never go back to Egypt. You can go wherever you want to, but you don't go to Egypt. In this case, God is coming and say, go back to Egypt, because there Joseph is, there I put him in, and this is what I'm going to do for you. So this is a reason ultimately it's very important for God to explain to them. 70 of them went down. Yes, there most likely were more. We get different numbers in the Bible. That does not mean there's a mistake or anything like that. We will look during times at that as well. So yes, this is basically what is happening in this chapter, this move down to Egypt. Remember as well, the people, Moses writing this on their way to the promised land. So now this is explained to them. They can look around themselves. They can see they grow into a big nation. And therefore now they're leaving back to the promised land. But then they weren't a big nation. There were just 70 of them. So therefore for them to grow into, they had to come. That gives an explanation as well of everything that happened to them there in Egypt. Puts everything for them in historical and godly spiritual context.